Hey everybody, Rob Ferretti here, and today we're going to talk about rally cars. Everybody's familiar, not like the off-road rallies, but the on-road car racing rallies like the Cannonball Run, the Gumball Rally, the Bull Run, the Gold Rush, things along those lines. Now, take a second and write down whatever car you think would be a terrific rally car. You're going on the Gumball Rally, what car would you take right this second? I'll give you a second. I know you didn't have a pen handy. You're watching YouTube. Why would you have a pen handy? All right, just remember it, because you're probably going to change your mind in a few minutes, because I've done a lot of rallies and a lot of other people have done a lot of rallies, and you start seeing the transition over the years as to what makes a good car and what makes a bad car. You definitely want to pick a car that has good fuel range, because that's very important. You want a car that gets at least 400 miles to the tank when you're driving fairly aggressively, not a car that just advertises 32 miles per gallon highway, but when you go over 100 miles an hour, it drops down to 18 miles per gallon on the highway. That's important. Fuel cells, highly recommended. Why is a fuel cell highly recommended? The fewer times you have to stop for gas, even if you're going incrementally slower than the faster guys, if you don't have to stop for gas for 5 or 7 minutes, you're talking a huge differential that somebody has to then make up on you. When I had the Ford GT in 2006, we were only getting about 280 miles to the tank. And when we do that, we had to stop 2 or 3 times to, like Tove, who had the Porsche with the fuel cell in the front, could go the entire leg on one tank. You want it to have a good top speed, somewhere in the 175 plus range. I drove the RS4 a few years ago on the Bull Run, and going to Las Vegas on the last stretch, it was wide open. I was doing 165 miles an hour. It was as fast as the car would go, and I was getting passed by Ferraris and GTRs and you name it, everything with a faster top speed. Even Maseratis were passing me, and I came in 6th on that leg, where I should have been, if the car was capable, I would have placed much higher. CB radio is pretty important. You can communicate with truckers, but they're notoriously unreliable. Some of them love you, some of them hate you. You never know who to trust or who's just calling out fake cops just to slow you down. Police scanners are great if you know how to use them. I don't think they're legal. They may not be legal in all states. Whatever, they're very useful. You can hear the police traffic talking about you, reporting mile markers. Eventually, they always catch on that you have police scanners, and then they start communicating via cell phone, but it's still a handy tool to avoid a couple of tickets and a couple of interactions you probably want to avoid. The Merc light changer. It's meant for ambulances, police cars. I've seen them. I'm not going to say I ever had one. I have seen them in use on rallies. That's a very handy thing, but it's very legal, so you want to be careful where you use it, if you use it, or if you even install it.
Come on, hit the switch, hit the switch. Let me change this freaking light to green.
Car-to-car radios, especially if you're driving in groups, it's great to be able to talk to the other guys with you. It prevents you from going crazy and also gives you data that you may not, that other cars may not be able to relay because there's no cell phone reception. GPS, everybody's got GPS. So, I mean, that's not really a competitive advantage. It's a necessity. And then GPS with something like Waze or Trapster or something that's actually being used is great. It reports where cops are, and knowing where cops are makes your life a little bit easier.
Trapster zone over here. It's a trapster zone.
Where about?
Here. There he is. Is that him in the middle?
Yep.
Anything up there?
Yep.
Yeah, we got him in the middle. Got him in the middle.
What's the speed?
67. You're good.
Oh, that was a good heading time.
If he took his lights off, it'd be even better.
How fast am I going now?
66, 64. We're good.
Nobody look at him. Nobody look him in the eye. Keep on going. Act cool.
Another important thing to have on a rally is an iPad, and if you have it, internet is terrific. Now, internet and an iPad works because you can look up apps, you can communicate with other people that can look up things online when you need to find out where you're going, or other people will look at more detailed maps because you're in an area that doesn't have a lot of reception. You also could see weather patterns. You could see where the rain is. You could potentially drive. You could obviously drive faster in the dry than you can in the rain. If you see there's a rain pattern moving up here, you could jump onto some other alternate roads and go a different direction. There's always more than one way to get to the destination in most places, and sometimes the off-the-beaten-path route will be the fastest. The thing that you definitely need to have in your car, though, is a radar detector. A Valentine one is my preference. As I've said 1,000 times, it gives you arrows. It tells you where the signal's coming from, how many signals. You still get false echoes like anything else, but it's good to know whether the cop is ahead of you, behind you, to the side of you. It allows you to either accelerate, decelerate, brake, whatever you need to do. It gives you at least a second piece of data that you can make an informed decision versus just slamming on the brakes every time you hear the damn thing beep. Now, this is a must. I just learned this on the last trip. The technology wasn't really there. You've seen them on Live Leak. You've seen them all over the internet. Get yourself the dash cams. I use Papago. I've tried a couple different ones. Papago sent me a couple to demo, and they've been the best ones I've ever used. And why not just hook up a GoPro? Why not? Because a good dash cam will record. It keeps GPS coordinates. It keeps speed. It keeps all these different measures that you want to have in there, that if you ever do get pulled over, you have a good chance of beating a ticket, because a lot of cops write stuff incorrectly. They catch you doing things, and it's your word against theirs. Here, if you have a dash cam recording, it records an infinite loop. So you put a memory card in there, it always records, and you have your last 10 hours of operation in that camera. If you have something that happens, you push the record button, and it saves that file as an emergency file. So anything that ever happens, if anyone complains or does anything, you have proof on your side. And if you ever get written for something, like we just got written in Idaho, we have a ticket, we have the dash cam proving what happened versus what the cop alleged happened, and the tickets are going to get dismissed. A good navigator is crucial. If you can get a good navigator, they can help you navigate your way through the back roads, knowing whether to take highways or local roads, or which is going to be faster. Take alternate routes when at all possible, because the rest of the rally is going this way. Navigator is very important. If they have a pair of binoculars, even gyro stabilized binoculars, it's great, but those aren't necessary. You can always see line of sight. You can usually see a cop, but a pair of binoculars will allow you to see a cop way up ahead. But it does give the navigator sitting there with a pair of binoculars at their face all day a headache. It makes it a little bit more difficult for them to stay and be on point the whole time. You also want to have a good pair of polarized sunglasses, because keeping the sun out of your face, not squinting, and actually giving your eyes a little bit of a break, having the sunglasses when it's sunny outside all day, will really help you. It'll reduce fatigue, and it'll allow you to make it through the day in much better shape with a lot more energy towards the end of the day and more focus. So those are the rally tips and tricks that I have. If you think I'm missing anything that makes a good rally car, doesn't make a good rally car, now that you have my input on what makes a good rally car, did you change your mind, or is the car you picked in the beginning the same one you're going to use anyway? So anyway, post your comments below. If I missed anything, be sure to put it up there. Everybody else will vote you to the top, and I'll be like, oh yeah, no kidding, I missed Hoosier Slicks, which you don't want to take Hoosier Slicks because it rains. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. Reed Timmer says use Bosch wiper blades. They keep your windshield the driest.